Yeah, here we go now. Let's go. Wagwan. What you say? Sakpate, Keloke, you don't know. Welcome to Diasporadic, a gathering place for the global Caribbean community. I'm your host, Keo. The show brings us our stories, arguments, reflections into one place, connecting the culture we come from with the futures we're trying to imagine. We explore identity, migration, music, politics, and everyday realities in Caribbean life across the world. The mission is simple: to bring the diaspora voices together, question what we think, what we know, and build a deeper sense of belonging. So let's start here with a truth that's so obvious it just became invisible. So this is my thesis. This is episode 1. This is all about Bad Bunny. We cannot separate American culture or pop culture from the Caribbean. Not now, not in the 90s, not in the civil rights struggle, hell, not since the slave trade. Because long before the NFL ever thought about who should stand on the Super Bowl stage, long before debates about representation, language, or mainstream stream appeal, a Jamaican kid named Clive Campbell stepped off the plane in the Bronx in 1967 and quietly rewired American music forever. We know him as DJ Kool Herc, known as the first DJ. He brought with him the Jamaican sound system culture, massive speakers, toasting, and the merry-go-round technique known as extending drum breaks. With this, it wasn't just the influence, it was literally the foundation of hip hop. So when we talk about who deserves the biggest stage in America, when we talk about Bad Bunny, Puerto Rico, Spanish language music, whether the Super Bowl is ready, we have to remember the Caribbean didn't just influence the culture, it built the foundation of the culture that it stands on. So let's walk that forward. After Herc came the first wave of Jamaican American giants like Slick Rick, Heavy D, Biggie, and Busta Rhymes. Artists who didn't just rap, they carried cadence, swing, patois, and storytelling traditions from the island straight to the heart of New York. Biggie's flow, timing, rhythm came from the reggae and dancehall he heard at home. Busta's entire performance style is a direct evolution of the dancehall chatting. So, the Caribbean wasn't a guest in hip hop, it was the architect of hip hop. While while that was happening in New York, something else was happening just a few blocks away, something that mattered deeply in this Bad Bunny conversation. Puerto Rican culture was growing right alongside hip hop. It was the same blocks, the same boroughs, the same parks, the same sound systems, the same parties. I mean, hell, check the movie Wild Style. There's Puerto Rican and black people in there. Boricua, Morea, Come on, man. Anyways, New York hip hop, Puerto Rican identity didn't just coexist, they cross pollinated. Breakdancing, graffiti, DJ, early ciphers, Puerto Ricans were there from day one, and musically, the exchange was constant. Reggae, salsa, bamba, hip hop, dancehall, merengue, all swirling together in the same city, the same era, the same creative pressure cooker. So when we act like people like Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl is some kind of new idea or a risk or a diversity play, they're ignoring 50 years of shared cultural history. They're ignoring the fact that the Caribbean, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Trinidad, Haiti, the Virgin Islands has been shaping American sound from inside out. They're ignoring the producers, DJ Premier, chopping samples like Jamaican dub plates, the Neptunes bringing Caribbean rhythmic structures to redefine the 2000s, Beam blending trap and dancehall cadences for Justin Bieber and Kanye West. Rock City writing hits for Miley Cyrus, Beyonce, Ariana Grande. They're ignoring the tropical pop wave of the 2010s. Drake, One Dance, Bieber, Sorry, the entire reggaeton explosion built on dembo, a rhythm that traces straight back to Jamaica. Afro pop. Let me not start on Afro pop. So when we ask the question, should Bad Bunny have played the Super Bowl? We're not talking about one artist. We're talking about an entire lineage of Caribbean creativity that built the modern American soundscape. We're talking about language, Spanish, patois, Dutch, French, and how the NFL still treats them as foreign, even though they're part of American music longer than most of the league's franchises have existed. We're talking about the representation, not as marketing strategy, but as historical correction. We're talking about the fact that New York hip hop and Puerto Rican culture grew up in the same apartment building, the same block, the same sonic universe. So this episode isn't about Bad Bunny, it's about the weight of history behind him. It's about the Caribbean's fingerprint on every beat, every flow, every pop up, every halftime show that came before, and it will come since. And it's about whether the biggest stage in America is finally ready to acknowledge the truth. The Caribbean has always been at the center of its culture. The question is whether America is ready to admit it. Now, I have two co hosts here with me to discuss this. I got to introduce my brother, JR, the Lion, a great Caribbean artist. Uh, we'll get more into his music throughout this podcast, but we'll talk. And I got to introduce Keela, the great Miss Anguilla. You know what I'm saying?
Book, book, book.
A teacher amongst students, so
A
everybody,
lifelong learner.
that's what makes you the best teacher. So everybody, get your pencils and pens out, get your thinking caps on.
I'm telling you.
And if I have to, I don't put the dunce cap on and put you in the corner.
I mean, I done wearing it already, so I here to learn.
Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, back to it. All right. Um, where we starting off, yo? Give me your honest opinions on Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl to start,
I
in the
haven't.
Caribbean to start.
I feel like I have an interesting start here.
All
Have
right,
you
let's go.
ever heard of the concept of synecdoche?
No.
Okay. Synecdoche is a linguistic concept where people tend to have a habit to use a part of something to actually refer to the whole.
Okay.
Okay. And I notice, and this actually cuts straight into the heart of Benito's message during the Super Bowl, right? We can get there. Just walk with me. When we use synecdoche, a great example of that we're going to see playing over and over in this very conversation is using the term America, right? And kind of sort of only using it to refer to the United States of America. That's technically the opposite of synecdoche, because if we're being honest, the term America covers the continents and the Caribbean in between.
Right.
That's what America is, which is the heart of Bad Bunny's message in his Super Bowl performance.
Yes.
Everything, all these countries that you see on the western side of the planet, in the Western Hemisphere, it's all America.
Right.
So who are you talking to when you're talking to Americans? Right? So saying all of that to say, we cannot leave the Caribbean out of any conversation when it comes to American pop culture, because we're literally geographically at the center of it.
Facts.
We're geographically at the center of it.
Facts.
Culturally, we're at the center of it, right? Public figure-wise, we're at the center of it. How many great icons can literally trace their heritage back to the Caribbean?
100%.
And it's all because we failed
That's exactly the point of this podcast. Go ahead.
I don't know if that we fail to remember, or we just don't be saying the quiet part out loud.
I think it gets whitewashed.
Yes, and we were just a stop on the boat, guys. That's the only difference between us and our brothers on the mainland. We're just a stop on the boat. We were just a stop on the boat. For all of the ethnic groups.
Exactly. And this is the point here, is to help people understand the distinction. I grew up in the US a long time, but I come from the Caribbean. I've seen the difference between an American black person and a Caribbean black person. American black, and see, I'm doing what you said. A United States black person is way different than a Caribbean black person. And even American black people understand the difference. Maybe other cultures, other, white people or whoever don't understand. But those who are in these ethnic populations understand that there are, variations and uh, uh, um, different delineations in how people think and approach what everybody has to approach the patriarchal white society that we're in. So I agree with your point. Continue.
I also kind of want to challenge the notion that we are so different. Because to be honest, I don't think we are. If you are familiar with Bahamian culture and Gullah Geechee culture, it's twinsies.
Mm-hmm.
Nassau,
Twinsies.
Bahamas. Twinsies.
Well,
Nassau, Bahamas, and Charleston in the Carolinas. They're sister cities.
I mean, I'll
There's
even
so
give you
much.
a even crazier one. Hawaiian culture and in the mainland. True Hawaiians are more like Caribbean people than they are like United States mainlanders.
It's like the insular thing. It's the
Yeah.
influence of literally your geographical positioning.
Yes.
Living on
Yes.
an island makes you have similarities with people from other
Yes.
archipelagos around the world. So we could say
Makes
that
sense.
we're going to find similarities in our culture with like Pacific Islanders. Why?
Yes. Yes.
Because the places that we live also do end up shaping our cultures.
Again, why this is called diasporadic, because we relate to each other in such weird and crazy ways. So it's like that's why we got to start to understand what the connections are and where the connections could be strengthened. That's how what I'm trying to get at. So, JR, well, no, you're not first generation, but you would be, you know, as a person that has just moved to the UK, I should say, freshly, first time, been up there. How does it feel? What do you understand, as you walk into that world? Like, what are the things that you're missing out on? What you think you're missing out on? What are the things that you think you need? You know, give me some insight.
So I don't know if this is on topic because I thought we were talking about Bad Bunny and that whole situation, right? But
We
yeah,
are, we
I'll
are.
give I'll
Go
give you
ahead.
a little bit of insight, right? So coming from a small island and living in a bigger place, the one main thing that is different is not having your family right there somewhere.
Right.
But
Hell yeah.
if you know me and you know how I grow, I don't really deal with that type of stuff. So it's like not having them right there was just probably for visitation purposes. So for me, I can survive not having, but if you come from one of them tight knit family circle type groups where y'all always together, if you move to a place like this on your own, it's gonna be a tough road for you if you
Mm-hmm.
depend on that family circle. But anyhow, we want to talk about Bad Bunny, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead, go
So
ahead.
listen, just to get a debate back on Bad Bunny type vibes, right? Talking about Caribbean representation and stuff like that, right? So
Yeah.
growing up in the Caribbean from the slower times till now, because now you see the Caribbean islands getting mentioned all over the internet and stuff like that. That's normal now because everywhere gets talked about on the internet, right? But back in the
Right.
days, bro, like growing up and you watching TV, if you was to ever like pass through like the Travel Channel and they say something about Anguilla, like the amount of pride you used to feel when you just see some random mention on international TV. Like we
Yeah,
grew
yeah.
up
Mhm.
feeding off of American TV. So when we see, top 10 beaches in the world, and then show may pop up there number 3 or something like that, bro, you go crazy for that type of stuff. So, like the representation of seeing Bad Bunny up there again. I did not watch the show, but I pay attention to everything else that was going on, right? I see all the flags, and I see why I see that was more important than the flags. I see the reaction to the flags, right? So I see
Yeah.
bro with all the
Yeah.
flags. But what I see was on my Facebook, which is like CIA headquarters, if you want information about everything in the Caribbean that going on. I'm telling you dead ass. I scroll through there and then I know everything what going on that's important. Right?
Mhm.
Yo, these are good points. Keep going.
Right. So I know some people from St. Martin, bro, and they were so ecstatic showing they flag.
Yeah.
And I know I got like, I don't
Mhm.
know how I know these people from around the Caribbean, right? But I know people who knows people that was in the show that grew up with that person and they were there holding a flag, bro. So this ain't only just, oh, he get a flag and get an actor to hold it. This man actually get a person from that island, bro, to hold this flag and represent the country. So you could just imagine, right? The Super Bowl is one of the biggest shows on earth, right? We ain't gonna deny the fact of it,
Mhm.
right? It's one of the biggest television events in the world that has happened regularly. And obviously, we
Mhm.
know that artists don't get paid to do that because that 15-minute show is like the biggest advertisement for your career you could ever have, right?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
dragging it back to the Bad Bunny situation and stuff, I find that was a genius business move on both sides of the fence. Because,
I think so.
yeah, dead ass, like, bro is, first of all, on Bad Bunny's side, we already know that's a genius business move for him, right? But for the
Mhm.
NFL, though, right? It's so smart
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because they've been trying to expand the NFL into the world, right? They've been playing games
Yeah.
in Europe. They play some in Japan. They play some
Yes.
in Brazil, Mexico.
Mhm.
They're trying to expand the NFL to be a worldwide global brand. But as you see, we're all America, right? These are the Americas. If they could reach into the 60 something, I don't even know how many hundreds of millions of people exist from Mexico down to the tip of Chile, right? But if they could
Yeah.
dip
Mhm.
into that market by taking the biggest artists in the
Mhm.
world that represents that market and that culture. He did his whole show in Spanish, bro. That's respect to his culture. He didn't bow. He
And
Mhm.
and
didn't
not
bend.
just Spanish. He did it in Puerto Rican dialect, bro.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah, yeah.
we ain't going into the
He did it.
intricacies or the
Yeah.
differences of the languages because I know between Dominican Republic, Puerto Rican,
No,
Mexican, they
no,
all got their
actually,
little
but
intricacies.
we actually should challenge that because it is, let's be clear here. If he goes into like a courthouse and he speaks improper Spanish, they might throw him out. You understand?
Right.
So the fact, like, because they do the same thing to artists, to our artists and everything too. And we have to do that whole, what do they call it? Um, changing your language, changing your tone,
Yanking.
Code switching.
code switching. We
Yeah.
have to do the code switching as well, right? But the fact that like, that's a big point to actually stick on. The fact that he chose to stay in code is really important because, like, my brother lives in Colombia and he's trying to learn his Spanish and stuff, and he keeps telling me about how the Spanish he knows from the Caribbean is looked down upon in Bogota because they speak more proper Spanish. So when you go around to these different places, like you're saying, like if he's speaking like, and they call it like costeños, which would be like
Yeah.
a darker skin.
Mm.
So if you go down and you speak like a costeños and you're up in the city, they're gonna treat you like you're a black man, like they treat black, like that. That's what it is, bro. That colorism is live and direct everywhere in the world right now. And so I think it's really important that he did continue to use his tone, his like street tone, because it shows the power of that culture still. You know what I mean? Like this is what's this is what the people speak. You know what I mean? This is how the people talk. Not just the elites, and that's how people always want to funnel everybody. It's just I find it to be a very democratic and real socialist message personally, but that's me. Anyways, I just like your point, yeah. I love your point. I think it's a really important point to make that point stand
I
out.
don't even remember
But
where I was.
no,
We got
yes,
lost on the Spanish.
I'm
The
sorry.
fact that
I'm
he chose
sorry.
to
Nah,
do
it
it in
happens, man. I
Spanish.
Yeah.
got a little dust on my brain still. I just wake up recently, so you know the vibe.
That's all
We
right.
Yeah,
all
but
Nah.
dusty
nah,
right
right?
now.
So
Hey,
That's why I wrote my stuff down.
The time difference is real though. The time difference is real. JR is 5 hours ahead. We on a different, we all on a different clock right now. And that's what part of being on the diaspora. Again, this is how we gotta live our life. And
Hmm.
these are the realities of our life being a part of that family.
So,
So
right,
back to it.
you had asked a question
Fish on the
in
hook
the little
again.
what you say, Makilo?
I said the fish on the hook again. He going.
Yeah, he had mentioned something earlier about oh, it was in the playbook, however you guys call it, because I ain't hip to higher lingo, right? About if they care about us, have they just using us and as a money thing? And again, yes,
Yeah.
of course it is, because it's a business.
Hmm.
And we can't play ignorant to the fact that money make the world turn. So as long as you try to ignore the facts of reality, you're going to lose it. You lose the point already. So yes, they want to use our culture to expand their business and get higher market value, market shares, capitalism. If you know that and you can take advantage of it, why not? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they don't care about us, but they care enough to recognize the power of our culture and our influence. Whereas if you don't allow them to use you, as in, of course they're going to use you if they can, regardless. But if you don't allow them to use you on a one-way road, that's the difference. Because if you got value, they're going to come. And if they could use you and ride you like a donkey because you weren't smart enough to get your money back, get your value back in whatever type of repayment it is, then that kind of on you. But what I'm saying is, Caribbean culture been influential. We just been kind of getting the short end of the stick for a long time. A lot of people been blowing up off of the stuff that we kind of created, the stuff that we developed in
Right.
this baby stage.
Right.
Right. That's. I'm clearing the mic now.
I kinda wanna also just piggyback off of something that you said just now.
No, that's good. That's
about
why I say the stuff. I ain't getting like super deep. My thing is just to add some spice and a little flavor so that you could disagree and
You
take.
made some good
no,
points back. Go
good,
ahead,
but these
Keela.
Yeah, but
points are
that's
dope
my
because
flavor,
Yeah.
at
bro.
the end of the day, what you said is so important to kind of hold in the back of your mind. We have to be realistic and and accept the reality
Yeah.
of the system that we functioning in. The fact of the matter is, whether or not these people care about us, the nature of the relationship is transactional. So
Exactly.
how is it wrong for you to move in a transactional approach
That's
as
what
well?
that's exactly my
If it's
point.
mutually beneficial to us both, then
Right.
heck yeah, I'm gonna
Exactly
take the
my point.
opportunity and do what I need to do.
Exactly my point. Like, recognize
I'm
it
gonna
for
do
what
what
it
I.
is and take advantage, because if certain people are trying to talk to you or whatever, that means they see the value of your product. Don't be a fool
Yeah.
and be like, oh my God, it's the NFL. Let me bend over. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Was
Yeah.
there a difference in the reaction of the Caribbean community versus the American, like the U.S. community?
What do you mean? Like the
Do you
US
think
black community?
any U.S.
Bro,
community?
the US, for
So
what? Bad Bunny?
Like I mean, like what was the difference in the Caribbean? Like we're talking about people in the Caribbean. All our, what you saw on Facebook or what you saw on this, at the bar in the Caribbean
In
versus
my
what you
mind,
saw
what I
anywhere else.
understood from what I observed, Americans, United States of Americans had. I don't know why I can put a dunce cap onto there at all. Yo, so
no, ain't
No,
no
we
dust
doing
cap
well.
this year.
so the
We doing
whole
well. We
of the
doing well.
US, like, it had a whole aneurysm, bro. Like, I mean, people for, people against. Right. So I briefed through some stuff today as well, Like, I got some good points here for Michaela. Like, we going down a dark trail before you leave today. Right? Right. But for me, Caribbean people, it didn't really move the temperature gauge that much. It was a big
Okay.
thing after, because of what he did with all the flags. But
The
before,
flags,
it wasn't
the
like
flags.
the world was breaking. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think? Do you think? I just want to ask real quick on that one, and this doesn't have to be long. Do you think that that flag thing, that representation that he gave us at the end, is gonna drive more Caribbean people to watch the Super Bowl next year?
No, because he ain't
Just
performing.
no. Okay,
I
just
mean,
checking.
but it's also possible that it might.
Yeah, but
It's possible that it might.
those who were gonna still are gonna, regardless to who's performing.
You're
They
right.
got their fans.
You're right.
Okay,
You know what I mean? But I don't see like most people who
That's
would
fair.
have seen the flags after the fact that it
Mhm.
happened, that didn't watch the Super Bowl, but just saw the whole stuff after. They're not watching the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
They didn't even watch it in the
Do you
first
think?
place.
But most people don't even watch the Super Bowl
That's
for the
what I'm
game.
saying.
Most people watch the Super Bowl for the halftime show. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. My husband
Right.
is just teaching me, how
Right.
to
Yeah.
follow a football game.
Most
I,
people
I,
watch the
I be
Super Bowl
telling people
halftime
every
show
year,
after
I
the
am
show.
just here for the blank concert. You
Yes.
excited about
Okay.
Super Bowl? I here to see Kendrick. I here to see
And
Benito.
that's
to see
typical. That's typical. That's typical.
But that's why the
Honestly,
viewership
I don't
goes
watch the
up.
sports. That's typical.
The numbers go up
For the
crazy during that
yeah.
moment.
for that part. Yeah.
Right. And so that's not anything not normal. That's fine. I'm curious if you think Benito got more. Like, do you think he captured more market share off of the performance?
100%.
Absolutely, bro.
100%.
Absolutely.
People that
And
didn't give a
his
didn't care,
performance was really highly rated.
bro.
Do you think his message was received well?
So here's the thing. When it comes to mass media and mass communication, I think people forget that it's not necessarily about the reception of the message. It's more about putting the message out. If it's in the ether, and if it's something that you are going to talk about afterwards, they don't really care about the reception. They care about it's out there. I am putting this energy out there, and wherever it goes and however the intent or the energy returns to me, I'm going to capitalize on the positive aspects of the return and boot the negative.
Let me ask a question quickly.
All right.
What message did you, so this is for both of y'all, and keep it short. What message did you receive from his show?
We're all one. We're more alike
Yeah.
than we are different.
Unity,
A
right?
unity message.
The entire
Unity,
yes.
West
I
is the American.
I just
That's
making
the
sure,
main message for
because
me.
I just want to know that we all, that this was the message. Because I'm a weird guy when it comes to interpreting stuff, right? But that's what I get from it as well. Yeah?
Yeah, that was a unity message.
Right,
That,
so-
I mean,
that was
you
what I
could-
got from it for sure.
Yeah, and if you could put it in one word, I mean, yes, like Michaela was saying, like definitely it's more detailed.
Of course.
Like you have
But
definitely a
if
lot
you
more
want to
nuance
summarize it in a
But in
one
general,
word,
yes,
quick snip, it would be that. Yeah,
yes,
cool. All right.
yes. Um, yo, Bad Bunny, bro. What about the imagery of the show is actually what I want to say. That was important or not important? Because I mean, it was debated and talked about for a long time after. But was the imagery that important, or was the message more important?
I think it go hand in hand. I think it go hand
I
in hand.
agree. I
Because
agree. I think
Okay.
that the imagery enhanced,
the message.
like was able to make the
Yeah.
message stand out
Yes,
more.
yes.
It put the
Okay.
message more sharply in relief.
From the sugar cane, everything. He
Um,
bring the whole
yeah.
village right there in the stadium. That's epic, bro. That is
I mean,
respectable.
which person from the Americas, right? And I saying it this way specifically. Which person from the Americas is not going to identify with what looks like a plantation? What looks like elders slamming dominoes?
Dude,
Salon
listen,
talk,
bro,
the nail
he
salon.
did
You
his
know what's
thing, yo.
interesting?
Rico selling on the side of the road.
He did his thing,
You know
bro.
what's interesting about this? You know what's really interesting about this? Because spending a lot of time in the U.S., right? I've done a lot of road trip in the U.S. A lot. The small towns of the United States are much more like the Caribbean than people like to understand. They are
Because Caribbean island is basically a small town
yeah,
anyway.
it's almost dead on the same, dead serious. Even when it comes to like services, like there's some places in the US that take just as long to get a package as it does to get to Anguilla, you know.
Yep,
There are definitely places like that in the continental US.
yep.
And so, you know, I think a lot of people forget that, and a lot of the like why our cultures mesh, and why when somebody moves from a small island to a big town or a big city, and they become they you know they work their way up and they do all these things, they get opportunities. It's the same kind of thing, like people moving from the small
Mhm.
town to thing, but they don't see it that way because they see, oh, you come from an island, you come from, it's paradise, it's this is that, and they
And
don't understand that.
here's the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize about living in the Caribbean is that when you live in the Caribbean, you learn, like, literally for yourself what the whole proverb, no man is an island unto himself, means. You literally learn that. Because
Yes.
yes, there is the reality for some people in the Caribbean that they might never leave their island. That is a reality for some
Definitely.
Caribbean people. It's not the reality for the majority of Caribbean people. Eh?
Not
But when you
anymore, at
think about,
least.
not anymore,
Yeah.
but not ever really, because when you think about historically, how many of our men in the Leeward Islands had to travel west to the larger Caribbean
Right.
countries,
Right.
literally to prop up their familial and national economies, going
Right.
in Santo to be able to bring back
No, but that's
to
true, because
feed
that's
your
how our
family in
culture boat
Anguilla.
racing start.
Okay.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that I was reading through some stuff, it's pageant season. Y'all know I'm a pageant trainer.
Hmm.
And
And
we
a pageant
always
winner.
do, there's always a segment for cultural and historical, like, observation, right? And that's the costume. So we tend to be doing a lot of research at this time because you kind of want to have a good foundation in whatever you're presenting. It needs to
100%.
have a historical basis and a cultural basis. Yesterday, I learned that a good chunk of Angola's population in the 1700s literally abandoned Anguilla and moved to Crab Island, which is now known as Vieques, an island off the coast of Puerto Rico. On top of the fact that, hello, grocery shopping. Remember in the 90s and the early 2000s how people used to go to Puerto Rico to buy stuff in bulk?
Yes. Yes.
Not even just St. Martin, that's 10 miles away across the sea. That little pond that we got there.
Hmm.
I know we don't call
But
it the sea, right?
hold on a
People shop
second.
over there all the
Hold on
time.
a second.
People still shop in Puerto Rico to this day. We go to Puerto Rico
Wait.
for not just for vacation, but for medical attention.
Stop.
We in the Caribbean, we go to different islands
Teacher.
because we live in the Caribbean. We don't just live on one island.
Teacher. I gotta have to rewatch this episode just to get the rest of what you say, because how much people pick up and move to Crab Island?
A good chunk.
She said a good
Dude,
chunk. I
honestly,
don't think she
right?
said a number. She said in the
I have
1700s.
never heard that before. That is so crazy.
I haven't
What
heard
kind of
that
history
one. I
them
haven't heard
teaching
that
Good
me in
chunk.
school, bro, if I don't even know that?
I learned that the governor of the Bahamas, Big Bad Woods, what's his name? Woods Rogers.
Yeah, I know Woods Rogers for
invited
sure.
the colony of Anguilla to
It-
abandon the country and be integrated into the Bahamas. That was in the 1700s.
I know
I
Woods
know
Rogers.
later on in 1843 or sometime about there, the British was like, yo, you guys are gonna die here on this island.
I heard that.
Let's
Yeah.
put you guys on a boat and ship you to Guyana, because they were willing to absorb Anguilla's population in Guyana. And the Anguillan said, we gonna suck salt. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I heard that
Leave
one.
us here, because we ain't giving up our
And we
land.
sucked salt
And
for a while, but
that
yeah.
is-
Bro, I almost didn't
and that's the
exist in this
thing.
farm. You telling me I would have been different?
We almost didn't exist multiple times.
Dude,
Multiple times.
listen, if you don't know your
And that
history,
thing is central to Anguillan identity.
fam,
That
what you
Yes.
reading?
refusal to give
Yo,
up on Anguilla is
Right.
central to Anguillan
Yes.
identity.
Definitely.
why
Definitely.
you
I know that.
reading?
I'm reading, bruh. It's on a website. I can share the link.
Pop the link
I
in
think it's
the
the
chat.
Anguillan
Don't even
Archaeological
listen.
Society. I can share the link.
Pop the link in the
I
chat.
guess we're gonna have to share the
ASAP.
link in the show description
And
after
the
the show
show.
too. You know what I'm saying?
That
But
is wild,
Listen.
yo.
look at
Cause
that.
I love
I told everybody to get your
history, yo.
books out. Look at that. Look at that.
I
You're learning something
love
today.
history, yo. Especially Anguillan history, the stuff you never hear about. Like I love that type of stuff, yo. Anyhow, right? Anyhow, let me drag us back to the scope of where we're supposed to be, right? Because we always there. So what I do, right? I look at a list of performers at the halftime shows for the last 10 years. I ain't gonna lie to you. I actually look at it from the 60s. But I only make note of some that stand out to me.
Well, the Super Bowl the halftime show only got big after Michael Jackson
Right.
in the 90s.
But what I'm
or
saying,
the
bro,
early 2000s.
for the last like 5-6 years, bro, it just been like a black culture thing.
Yeah. Rock Nation been on it.
Yeah, like heavy,
Go ahead.
right?
Yeah.
But back in the, I mean, when it was in the 70s, hold on, give me a second. This is crazy there, bro. Out of 80s, right? So 1979, there was a show called Carnival, a salute to the Caribbean, right? And it
Yeah.
happened in Miami, in the Orange Bowl. The Cowboys and the Steelers. The Steelers win 35-31. But the only information on artists I could get that perform from the Caribbean, because I say various bands and something, right? So I get this group called Merry Men of Barbados. And while I was scanning through YouTube trying to find some kind of clip of this Super Bowl performance, I get to see a little clip of these man, bro. These man had such a small little stage setup, right? But you could just feel the vibe. You understand what I'm saying? Like it wasn't Bad Bunny's style era take over the whole thing, but you could have see just like how a Caribbean stage show for a pageant or something would have been set up back in the days, and the vibe was right?
Yeah.
So it was them in a Dominican band named Gramax. So that's one that really stand out to me because again, that's a completely Caribbean Super Bowl right there.
Yeah. I didn't even know that. That's actually good info.
Right.
Yeah.
So this
Good
why I
history.
went through. I was like, yo, let me just go through this to see what happened. But also Bad Bunny.
I'm really surprised right now.
Bad Bunny did perform at the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Oh, with
Shakira and Jennifer Lopez.
Shakira. Yeah.
So you see, but it's just like that ain't the first Spanish.
No, exactly.
But the world just
absolutely.
The world just keep every day that the clock ticks, the world gets a little more sensitive. It ain't even that. It ain't even that. It's the fact that these few people out of the majority of people that will just enjoy a show, everybody now got a podium to scream from with social media. You see what I'm saying? So
I don't personally think that the world has become more sensitive. I agree with your conclusion.
Yeah, that's why I changed
social
it.
Media
that's why I changed it.
This access to this platform.
That's why I changed it.
It's not that we're more sensitive. It's just it's now our inner thoughts are a lot more visible.
Yeah,
and to be honest,
the
I
Karens
just say to myself every day, we need to know less about each other. We need to know less.
And that's why I kind of stay off social media, yo. I might pop through once or twice, 3 times a week. That I kind of just, and I'm so happy that I don't have that habit of like needing to scroll every day just to see something to make myself. Nah, man, bro. Life got enough going on. I could laugh at something that actually happened.
Life is life on the outside.
Yeah, for real. The Matrix right in there trying to, get unplugged. So now,
Not even
So
good. I would
do
say.
you think do you think that Bad Bunny started a historical correction? I can't say that he finished it, but
What you mean?
started trying to correct the historical representation. Is he the first one? Is he the no? When what could we say about Bad Bunny's performance? How was it important? Was it not important? Um,
I
what
will
did it move the clock? Did it move the clock hands forward or not?
I will not downplay the meaningful contribution Bad Bunny's performance made to the ongoing conversation. But I think um what it is in the context of what it is, it's it was the latest addition at that time to the ongoing conversation that's been happening, because if you're also taking a look at the links, right? Beyonce has been on her not tirade. She has been on her campaign to kind of remind everybody about the Black roots of
Mm, that's true.
very popular modern day genres.
Yeah, yeah.
Even going so far as to ask people, well, what do you understand by the concept of a genre? It's a funny
Right,
little thing. We can genre bend all we want, right?
right, right, right.
My guys, Beyonce has made soca music.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce has made reggae, but
Yeah.
we don't think of it as soca or reggae because of who it's coming from.
Right.
But
Oh, which is
Beyonce
all.
love off spending time in the Caribbean. Beyonce love off Anguilla.
100%.
Where would Beyonce get the phrase "I gonna let you walk up on it" if not from Small Island
I'm
Soca?
telling you.
Thank
Where would she
you.
get the phrase "drinking my water, minding my business" if she wasn't listening to Small Island Soca?
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, the woman
Agreed.
makes Black music. She makes her spin on Black music that can be found
Which is
across the world. Global Black music. That's the genre she makes.
which
Her genre is Beyonce.
I think her genre is just music. Like we just
Her genre,
yeah,
yeah,
just
her
music.
genre
You see,
is
this is I don't really
Beyonce.
personally, because obviously I make music as well, right? But I don't make so much like different types of Keo could tell you, you can't put me in like a class. Like, okay, yeah, I make gangster
right.
rap, but I also make sensible rap, and I make deep rap, and I make music for the club, and I make music for the girls, and I make music about love, and I write slower songs, and like it's just creation, bro. I don't even got time waiting on a label. It's just we just creating, bro. That's all it is. From the time you try to
Yeah.
put
We
yourself in a box
yeah.
like that, I think you limit what you can create.
I heard you're describing what Vince Staples said the other day because
Mm,
people ask artists all the time like, "Oh, how does it feel to be like a hip hop artist?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a hip hop artist. This
I'm
is
an
just what
artist.
I do." Like, and you see hip hop as a thing, but it's like what I grew up with. Like, it's
Mhm.
not what you grew up with like that. So you're getting introduced. I am not. Like, I don't. Like people have different relationships with things as
100%.
they've grown up with it,
Mhm.
and I don't think people understand the relationships that Caribbean people have with the Caribbean versus what other people see. And I think this is what we're trying to describe here. So go
Mhm.
ahead and kill it. Yeah.
So, yeah, I got a little lost there. But what I was trying to link the Beyonce context. So it also didn't start with Beyonce, but I'm just showing you the links.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce's Beyonce Bowl, the Christmas halftime show that she did,
Mm.
reclaiming American traditional music,
Right.
reclaiming Americana, right?
Right.
Then you
Right.
fast forward to last year's Super Bowl, Kendrick's confrontation
Mm.
between what is acceptable in Black culture and how Uncle Sam frames it.
Right.
It's all, I see it as all one long continuous message, because now here comes
Mm.
Bad Bunny expanding our
Mm.
concept of America and what
Mm.
America means.
So to add
I
to
Who
you
what
is
you
know
say,
American?
nah,
Like, it's one long, and it's all, again, it's all. who is facilitating them being able to reach us? We might not always be happy with who is behind or who are the architects like
You talking about
supporting or the
Rap
engineers
Nation?
supporting them.
But listen,
And my
right?
guy, I don't care.
Listen. I wouldn't
Because
understand
it's
why
conversations
people
that need
would
to be had.
sit and hate a man that come from nothing to be put in a category of some of the richest people in the world that come from nothing. The man position himself to be able to control so much of the market. Like, he's just a capitalist, bro. He just play the game correct. That's all it is. The man just played the game correct. Again, as we said earlier, it's a exchange. You could choose to not be a part of the exchange fairly. You could choose to be a shark too, because you're in the water with sharks. So bro just proved that he's a shark as well, because many people before him with cleaner reputations have sat in those boardrooms with these opportunities, but a lot of them didn't take the plunge. You understand what I'm saying? Because in these kind of, it take risk as well. You know, high risk, high reward.
Mhm.
So he risked a lot and he rewarded a lot. Me, whoever he put on the Super Bowl show, I'm proud to see a black man running that shit. So I could understand why The Weeknd was there, Usher was there, Rihanna was there, another Caribbean person again, by the way. Let's just stick that up in there real quick. You see what I'm saying? A whole list of black people, even bring Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick again, Mary J. Blige, like, bro, just what you saying, it's been like, let me look at my book and let me show you how it's been like. I'm gonna use it really quick, right? So from The Weeknd, at that time, Weeknd was probably the biggest artist in the world with the biggest hits in the world, right? Then, you know, he kind of a little grungy, but he's still nice. So they trying to they bring Dre, Snoop, the Gangsta Paradise type stuff, right? Boom, they had to smooth it out a little bit with Rihanna, but she's still a bit grungy as well because Rihanna's still a bit gangster, right? So they nice it up even more with Usher. Now we got everybody with us now because we treat them real sweet. Who coming next? Your guy, Kendrick. He come
Mash
to
them up
shake
again.
the place, to open the wounds
Yeah.
that was healing, right? And then what? While the wounds open, who bringing the salt from the Caribbean?
Oh God.
Not who bring
Look
this
at
up.
the way. Wow, that was some real
Freestyle shit.
you smoked a good J and just
I might
you were like,
Yo.
yo, I gotta figure this
I
thing out.
might be smoking it right now as well. But yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. It does feel like it does honestly feel like like the approach is one of, listen, we injured, we limping along,
Globalization.
and we need to reset the bone before it set wrong.
Globalization. They put Jay-Z
Yeah.
in that position to bring the brand to the world.
Are we taking advantage of that opportunity then?
No, because we only
Who's
know
we?
recognizing it.
Nah. People do you see like more artists from the Caribbean trying to do things? Are you seeing more organization and like foundational like work being done on the islands around artists, around even like contestants for the pageants and stuff like that? Like how are we supporting? Are we making moves as a Caribbean? What are we doing?
Let's let a
I
pageant
will
related
say
take
that
this one, yeah.
I'll be honest, and I'll say that, at least from a pageantry perspective, since I started like being 10 toes on the ground, feet down, there has been a meaningful effort towards like government investment. So that's from my experience from 2024 to now,
That's good
right?
though.
And like I have been able to visibly and conscientiously and consciously know and see with my own eyes and with my own personal experience the the investment. And the investment also was better than a lot of Caribbean countries too, even during my reign. So, and just because something is better than other places doesn't mean that we've reached the pinnacle or the best
No, yeah.
that we can be.
Of
Right.
course.
I know that for regional representation, I was in a lot better position than other young ladies representing their countries at regional pageants, based on the type of investment that and support that I got from the government of Anguilla.
Right.
I am happy to say that my successors, the ones that I have worked with for sure, have been able to access even more support than I
Wow.
was able to. And it felt like a little win and a big win at the same time, but it was really great. Can we do more? Yes, because there are people other than the contestants, because they're the end product, right?
That's
They
true.
they push out or they model the end product. What goes into preparing them for the stage requires a lot of investment for the creatives, the artisans, the all of the creatives that come together to help
Costume
this one
designers.
person be that ambassador. Yeah.
Definitely.
Designers, costume
Definitely.
fabricators, visual artists, graphic artists, right? All of these
100%.
people
It's a
have a
lot.
very serious
Even
part to play. Yeah,
photographer, everything just to keep the hype
exactly.
that I could imagine. I mean,
Exactly.
I've been there, not in the pageantry stuff, but doing music and doing music videos and being an artist, you gotta have this kind of network as well. You gotta have, so it
Yeah.
takes investment as well, right?
Yeah.
So let me say something about to what Keela was saying about if we benefiting or something. But what I would say, right, that the Caribbean's exposure to the world more now because of celebrities visiting the Caribbean, speaking on it, until it become more accessible, like through the internet, where you could see the Caribbean more often now than just like an advertisement on TV. Because everywhere couldn't pay for advertisement on American TV. You understand what I'm saying? Or a billboard in New York, right? So what I think is that because of our culture, that people come and look for us and we help blow up people that always come to the Caribbean, that we end up raising up more money through tourism, right? And if you look at the state of Anguilla right now, in my eyes, Anguilla's in a pretty good place because a lot of people got investments like Airbnbs. You see what I'm saying? And that wouldn't be possible if we didn't have good tourism based on people speaking on us in advertisements, us being visible worldwide, our food culture, our friendliness culture. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. So I just saying that's a way that we probably eaten off of that in a way too as well. You know, like we known we's the Caribbean, we got good beaches, we got good food, we got good people, we got good vibes. Ha ha ha. Come down, stay at one of our locally owned Airbnbs. You see what I'm saying? That
But
money.
you see, doesn't that now create like a little friction though? And this is where the friction is gonna be. Anguilla markets itself as an exclusive luxury destination.
True.
And to have our influencers on the ground try to market Anguilla to more affordable markets is going to end up being at odds or clashing with
I hear you.
our exclusive.
I
And I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying that
is
is
an
a
issue to come,
likely
and it's a good
thing
thing you
that could
say.
arise.
But listen what
It's a
I
likely
think.
thing that could arise. Can we have it all? Because I think we could.
But this is what we're going to tell you. I
You
don't.
just got to be prepared to have it all.
But this, now that you recognize it as something that's going to be an issue in the future, or maybe in the near future, we don't know. But I don't think, because you know, again, Anguillians, we like to own our own thing. That's part of the whole vibe, right? We just say that, right? I don't think that the local man who own an Airbnb with more investments in 2 buildings because things good, gonna sit there and let legislature take his stuff from him. So as exclusive as it is, yeah, you see your face?
We will march.
You see exactly.
We will march.
But listen what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it gonna have to coexist because there's no way I am gonna let Mr. Man with billions in 4 different hotels around the Caribbean, 10 in the Philippines, 3 across Europe. Like, I'm not gonna let him take my money by making my business get shut down. So yeah, we gonna march.
Him with his billions, and the majority of the tourism dollars that are earned through his businesses don't even stay and circulate.
That's what I'm saying. So my thing is, let him keep his high class, super exclusive people. Bro, yeah, you can have them. We cool. Just give me Joe and Schmo and Janet over there. Like, they saved their whole life to come down here and have a good time, bro. Let them come over here and have some personalized attention type vibe. You check what I'm saying? So yeah, they got to coexist.
This conversation, I gotta cut this one because this is getting into something totally different. But
no, it's not, because Benito referenced this too. By the way,
he did. That's
the
what I
song
wanted
that
to.
Ricky Martin sang.
I'm glad you brought. Go ahead. Bring
The
it back.
song that Ricky Martin sang during the Super Bowl halftime show. Don't let them do to us what they did to Hawaii.
Okay.
It's the same conversation.
Okay. Thank you. Because that's what the part I was gonna come back to, as well. The representation part. Was it good representation or good marketing? These are the final. I want your final thoughts on this because we're about an hour. I don't want to go more than that right now. So, and I know you gotta go, Makila, too. So, yeah, was it good representation, good marketing, both, or not?
Let me go first because I can keep it short. Let me go first. All right. Final thoughts on the subject. I think it was good representation. I think it was great marketing, not only for him as an artist, the NFL as a business, but for the Caribbean region and culture on a whole. Like, he showed them a bit of who we are, more like the traditional who we are, but that's who we were. And you don't go unless you came from somewhere. So for me, like, 10 out of 10 for bro, and continued success towards him. He's one of the biggest in the world. And I mean, my son, mom, Spanish, so I've been exposed to the culture, I've been deep in the culture, pause, right? But yeah, keep going. Yeah, and that's like my points right there. Like, big up to bro. He did good, he did great, he represented, and he stood up to the haters, he stood up to American government. He dropped talk on him after the show and all. It was beautiful. Like, I mean, it takes some balls to tell Ice to fuck off, excuse my language. But yeah, that's it.
I would JR. The only thing I want to say to add to that is to repeat something that I said before. Mass communication talking point. I think the impact and the intention, he managed to do what he was going for. I honestly think so. I agree with JR on all those points. But again, I think the main thing was just to get it out there. Just like he might have had his own personal goals with it.
Of course.
His team, they might have had their own personal goals with it. But I think the basic goal was achieved. Get it out there, get people talking about it. We're generating the conversation about it too. So like, it did what it set out to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nor bad. It did what it set out to do.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that wraps up the first episode. I love that. I agree with both of y'all. I think he did the right thing there representing. I'm actually curious about the story behind the show itself. I want to know how that all played out actually. Just because of your salt in the wound, uh the whole way you laid that out, JR, I didn't think about that way.
That was genius.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
I didn't think about that at all.
Pause. don't think that I sat here this morning when I was doing my thing and I think about it that way. It was what she said when she linked the
Okay, but still,
Beyonce and then going forward.
even though even though it doesn't even matter, it's even crazier that you thought about that right then. So
That was
the,
genius.
yeah, that is genius. First of all, like I can't even like I couldn't even conceptualize that kind of strategy for that. But anyways, that's the salt in the wound thing. Like, yo, that is heavy actually, considering the performance of Kendrick last year next to the Benito
What
performance
you
this
gotta
year. It
look
makes it
for,
Right
even
next.
more
what you
crazy.
gotta look for is who is gonna be the next performer, because that's
Right,
what gonna,
right, right,
cause
right.
salt
No,
in the wound gonna keep the wound open. What's gonna happen next,
no,
bro?
but that's actually, but no, I thought that was such an important framing of the whole thing, actually, that people kind of miss. Like
Hmm.
the whole story arc was missed, I
If
think.
you
Like
look
they
The
were
at it,
showing.
whole story
bro,
arc. I honestly think they were all
Yeah,
wanting
so
that.
yeah, props to that. But yeah, just on the, just we just man, you guys just really hit this one out of the park, honestly. Yeah, we just know that Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl wasn't just representation, it was really good marketing as well. And the impact he had on the Caribbean culture on the world stage, it probably has been severely underrated so far, and probably, well, we know that historically it's been underrated. That performance was probably underrated. And as we, like you're saying, like you're like, because we didn't even think about the whole Kendrick thing. As we sit and really position this performance amongst all the performances of the last 10, 15 years, and probably in the next 10, 15 years, I think we'll probably end up seeing the real impact and importance of that performance
Hmm.
based on how what you're saying too, JR. What comes next?
Yeah, that's it. And now I'm
Yeah,
excited to be looking out for
yeah,
all of the clues because they start dropping hints from summertime. So I'm
yeah,
I'm I'm looking
yeah.
forward to seeing who is dropping hints and
I guess
who is gonna
we
be
gonna host a little game on the
announcing next.
podcast around that, see who gonna guess it correct
I'm
then.
telling you. Um,
Anyways, thank you again. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for the co-host. We'll be back next week. We're gonna hit it with another conversation for you. We'll drop that sometime soon. We're gonna drop this on YouTube and on podcasting platforms. I'm not sure where else, so I'll probably update this wherever. This was a great first episode. Thanks to my co-host, and thanks to everybody that's gonna watch this. Yeah,
Yeah.
blessings. Diasporadic. We out.
Out.